very good afternoon, everybody. It is indeed my privilege to be chairing and mentoring the discussion on authors panel for the second year in row. So it is my privilege to first call upon again a veteran for the third time. First time I had the privilege to have, or an honor to have participated in panel discussion with him. And I call upon one very profound gentleman who has been also our Darren O'Brien, or the quiz master, so as to say. Please put your hands together for Debashik Sarkar from West Bengal. On a lighter note, a quiz master sitting beside you gives you little nerves. So, मालूम पड़ा कब आपकी खुद की quizzing start हो जाए, तो I'm sure he'll not quiz me. And with that, I'll ask Debashish to talk about his books. Although, like, he has been an old comer to this, many of you might be knowing about his work and the outstanding work he's done in the field of quizzing. So, over to Debashish.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, my dear colleagues. Just a few hours before I was here as a poet, and I had recited 2 poems in English. And now here I am again in the same auditorium as an author. It's just very recently there was a Bangla film which has become super hit. It's called Bohurupi. You know the meaning of Bohurupi. So you can consider me as one of the Bohurupis of the department. And jokes apart, first of all, I would like to thank Mantri sir. Mantri sir is such a wonderful human being. I've been here for, he's referring to the word veteran. Veteran, fine. I have been here in this panel discussion for the third time in a row, which is a very, very proud privilege. The most prestigious part of it is sitting beside people of the caliber of Mantri sir and the other wonderful authors and listening to what they are talking about, writing about, reading about. One or two things which, sir, before I pinpoint to my book, I would like to tell you that only last week I had to conduct a quiz in Kolkata for the Income Tax Sports and Recreation Club Bengal wing. And the wing which organizes the quiz is the library wing. We belong to the generation, perhaps, who've been brought up with books but have rejected books in the passage of life. How sad is that? How unfortunate is that? This small thing that we carry in our hand every moment has taken away almost every other, creativity, about, imagination, about the reading habit. I grew up watching my mom, my mother, apart from the hours that he had to sort of take up doing her daily chores, she was always seen with books. That's how I grew up. That's how many of you perhaps have grown up. And it was books which have taken us to whichever position we are in today are because of, amongst many other factors, books are one of the main factors. How can we leave books like, jhare hue patte? You look at the condition of, have you ever taken a tour of a library recently? Dim lights, few people or no people apart from the librarians. That's how we grew up with the library, and then we've sort of nakar diye hum log. It's an utter neglect that we put to library. So I am a very petty quiz master. What can I do? I did a library round in that quiz last week. So आप लोगों में से जिसको जो हो सके, the primary objective should be you. If you respect reading, if you respect books, go to a library. Weekly once, read there, sit there, take books, give them some work. Give yourself some work of reading a book. How many of you, how many of amongst us have read a book of 100, 200 pages recently? When did you last finish a book? So these are very basic questions, sir, I wanted to convey, because whatever I have written quiz books and stuff are like how a bee collects honey from a flower. So you have to go through a 500, 1,000 page books in order to make 1, 2 or 10 or 100 questions. So I have not left reading. This is my very humble, it's not an advice, it's a prayer to all of you present here on stage and off stage, to go back to books, first of all. Because books are the man's best friend. It's been always said like that. Now coming to my book, every year I publish books. It's not as if it's a ritual, but the way I read, I almost finish a book every year. So this is a book which I last wrote. This is called Shonku Quiz. It's a quiz on a character. It's an imaginary scientist character created by Mr. Satyajit Ray. Mr. Satyajit Ray, as you all must be knowing, that he was a world-renowned filmmaker. He was a wonderful storyteller as well. He used to write. He used to write for a children's magazine called Sandesh, which was started by his grandfather. It's one of the longest running, Bangla magazines in Kolkata. It's called Sandesh. And then when his father died, he took up the responsibility of being the editor of the magazine. And out of that compulsion, he started writing stories. He created characters. He created a detective character called Feluda. He created a scientist character, which is called Professor Shonku. Now, Shonku is a character who lives in Giridih. Giridih is in Bihar. Or is it Jharkhand now? Is it Bihar? Whatever, in Giridih. And he conducts his experiments and he tours worldwide. He's got wonderful adventures in which every story gives you a message of world peace, anti-war messages. And within those scientific spectrum, he gives us wonderful books for kids reading, as well as the adventure and scientific phenomena, as well as whatnot. My quiz book deals with trivia of those adventures, which have been very well accepted by the people in Kolkata and Bengali reading audiences. It was inaugurated just before the Kolkata International Book Fair, which is very famous, and it's running well. And another good, very small news I would like to share is that the CBDT now, invites me to conduct quizzes at the IITF Pavilion every year at the Pragati Maidan, New Delhi. It started on the 14th, and yours truly will be doing daily quizzes at the Taxpayers Lounge in Delhi till 27th. So that is one small news. Another one with which I would like to end is the book that I am going to finish very soon. मैंने नैना मैम को बोले थे, so she said, don't divulge it too much. This is a book I first time I have encroached into the territory of taxes. It's called, it's about the funny, strange, taxes that history, through the passage of history, kings and, emperors have put to their subjects, to the ordinary people. Phenomenal things like happened. It might seem very funny now, but they must have been very painful to the people of that era, like, beard tax and hat tax and, window tax and wallpaper tax and stuff like that. I've compiled a book on that. It will be out in the Kolkata Book Fair this year in Bangla, and very soon, it's already translated. It will be inaugurated in English. So that's all for now. Have a wonderful session. Thank you very much, Manchi sir, for giving me once more this opportunity of being with you people more than anything else. Thank you very much.
That was so very wonderful and inspiring as well.
Just before we end, may I have a genuine, warm round of applause for this wonderful, wonderful author and person, Mantri sir, whose choice of words, whose vocabulary, whose books, and his anchoring, the way he sort of, as a captain of the ship, he sort of, started and ended this journey, this panel discussion is wonderful. Thank you so much, sir, on behalf of all the authors present on stage. Thank you very much. See you next year. Thank you.